Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm just going to do a Q&A. I realised that it's actually been about 5 years since the last time that I did kind of just an everything Q&A, so I thought it was about time that I did another one. So I asked people to send in questions on my Instagram, so I've got those up here and yeah, I'm just gonna go through and answer them. So the first question is, how are you doing? Well, that's a very lovely question to start with. I always find this question really difficult to answer because my instinct is just to say, yeah, I'm okay, thank you. But as I'm sure other people with ME and other chronic illnesses will know, kind of my version of okay and a healthy person's version of okay are worlds apart. So yeah, it's always a difficult question to ask, but what I will say is that today is a pretty good day. Yeah, but thank you very much, that's a very lovely question to start with. Next question is, how has your electric wheelchair improved your life? Wow, my electric wheelchair has improved my life massively, like beyond really anything that I can probably even put into words. I do have a whole video on my channel which I will leave linked below from a couple of years ago, from actually really when I first got my electric wheelchair, talking about the impact that it had on my life, but it's just continued and just grown since then. It's massively improved my life, it's increased my independence, even just with the kind of simplest things of, before I had my electric wheelchair I was just using a self-propelled wheelchair, but I didn't really have the energy or the strength to push it myself regularly. So if, for example, I needed to go to the toilet, I would have to ask someone else to take me to the toilet, even in my own house. Whereas now that I have my electric wheelchair, I can move around the downstairs of my house freely and independently. We've even recently put a ramp at the front door, which means that I can actually leave the house by myself, which is incredible. To be kind of at the age of 24, and a couple of months ago was pretty much the first time ever that I had left the house by myself, was massive. Obviously I don't really have the energy to be going anywhere very far, but I have really lovely neighbours who I'm really good friends with, so it's nice now that I can just go out and go over to their house by myself. They have the comfiest sofa so it's so nice that I can now be able to go and just have like a little bit of a change of scenery without using up too much energy, and be able to do that independently. Yeah, but my electric wheelchair has just absolutely changed my life for the better, massively. If you'd like me to do an updated video kind of talking more about my electric wheelchair, then do let me know and I'll definitely do that. But yeah. Okay, what are your favourite activities to do during the day? So obviously low energy activities are the way for me. I would say, I mean, anything crafty. I am a crafting girl. I absolutely love anything crafting. I love to knit and crochet, and I also have a Cricut Joy machine, so I love to use that. I have my little craft corner set up downstairs. Yeah, so that's kind of that. Doing something crafty, it tends to be my favourite activity to do kind of during my activity time. And also just like watching stuff on my laptop, watching YouTube. Yeah, those are probably my favourite activities, and I love just to sit on the sofa and watch a film with my mum, which is really lovely. Yeah. Another question is, what does a good day and a bad day look like for you? I feel like this might be a bit of a tricky question to answer in this video, but what I might do is film kind of a couple of day in the life style videos to kind of show what they look like. I would say that there isn't a huge difference between what a good day and a bad day looks like for me in terms of like what I do, because I tend to try and keep every day very low energy anyway. Obviously I do the occasional bigger thing of like having a friend over or doing something more high energy, but on the whole I tend to keep my days pretty neutral to try and like manage my energy as best I can. So I would say kind of the biggest difference between a good day and a bad day would be the activity that I do. I tend to do an activity kind of sitting up between 2 and 3 o'clock. That's kind of my biggest energy usage time in the day. So on a good day I will do a more kind of involved craft activity like using my Cricut or something like that, whereas on a bad day I will do something more low energy, so I might do a little bit of Lego or some colouring, and I'll tend to just do that for half an hour and then sit on the sofa and read my book or something like that, do something a bit less taxing. So that's kind of, I would say, probably the biggest difference, and obviously just how I'm generally feeling in myself is obviously the biggest difference. It takes me a lot longer to do things on a bad day. Yeah, so I just kind of put in more rests. So that's kind of the quick answer to that question, but yeah, if people would be interested in me doing a more kind of in-depth video talking about what an average day looks like for me, then yeah, I will definitely do that. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favourite TV show? I have a few, but I would say probably Grey's Anatomy. Definitely Grey's Anatomy. It's one of those series which I just watch over and over again because it's such a long series. There's like 21 seasons, I think, or something. By the time I finished watching it, it's been months and months and months since I was at the first series, so I just go back to the beginning. It's definitely just, it's become a really lovely kind of low energy activity for me to just sit and watch it, and I just really enjoy it. So yeah, Grey's Anatomy, definitely. But I'm also a massive Strictly Come Dancing fan, so that's also one of my favourite TV shows when that's on in the autumn. What is your favourite film? That is a pretty impossible question. I have so many. Really, anything Disney I absolutely love. That's my favourite genre, I guess, is either Disney or musicals. I think probably my favourite film of all time is The Greatest Showman. I absolutely love that film and I could watch that over and over and over again. Yeah, so probably The Greatest Showman is kind of my all-time favourite film. But yeah, just anything Disney really. I'd say at the moment, recently, the West End version of Frozen, the musical, came out on Disney Plus, so at the moment that's probably my kind of current favourite, but The Greatest Showman is definitely my all-time favourite film. Do you have a favourite book or a favourite author? Yes, I think, well, I have a favourite author, definitely, Sarah Morgan. I discovered her books, I think last year, and I really enjoy them. I just really enjoy her writing style, and I find her books relatively kind of easy to read and easy to follow. So yeah, Sarah Morgan is definitely my favourite author. My favourite book, I don't think that I actually have a favourite book necessarily, but I don't even really have a favourite genre because I love Sarah Morgan's books, which are fiction, but I absolutely love to read non-fiction, kind of autobiography, memoir kind of style books. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I necessarily have a favourite book, but definitely Sarah Morgan is my favourite author, so really anything by her. Oh, this is an interesting one. What is something people would be surprised to know about you? Okay, story time. I think people would be surprised to know that I have performed with Gary Barlow. Very random. When I was in year 8 at school, so when I was about 12, nearly 13, a choir from my school, which I was part of, was invited to perform with Gary Barlow at his concert in Cardiff. I don't know whether anybody will remember the song Sing. It kind of came out around the 2012 Olympics and the Jubilee and everything like that, and yeah, we were invited as a choir of, I think there were 20 of us, to perform with Gary Barlow. So I think people would be surprised to know that about me. Fun fact. So that was really cool. So I think people would be surprised to know that, probably. Do you have a favourite makeup brand? Yes, I think that Iconic London is my favourite makeup brand. I really love their products. Do you find it difficult to balance your health with the things that you enjoy? Yes. My battery's about to die. I'll be right back. Okay, my camera battery died, so apologies if the angle has changed a bit. Yeah, sorry about that. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so do you find it difficult to balance health with the things that you enjoy? Yes, I would definitely find that that's something that I really struggle with, especially when there's something that I really want to do, be that seeing a friend or a specific activity that I want to do. It is really difficult to find that balance between, I suppose it's kind of finding the balance between physical health and mental health, and doing the things that I know are going to really lift me mentally and emotionally, but those things are probably going to knock me physically. So it is kind of finding that balance. On a day-to-day basis, I think I'm quite good at this. Like I already mentioned, I kind of have that hour slot in the middle of the day. That's kind of my best energy point, I would say. It's kind of between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that tends to be when I will do something that I enjoy, be that a craft activity or seeing a friend or something like that. That tends to be my slots of the day, and I try to kind of, if I'm doing something bigger, something more energy, then I will make sure that I keep everything else in my day very low energy and add in extra rests to kind of try and manage it better. But it is definitely really difficult, and it's definitely something that I struggle with. Like I said, especially when there are bigger things, it's finding that balance between the mental health and the physical health really. And I will quite often find, like, if I'm invited to go to something, or if I have something that I particularly want to do, it's one of those things where it's always, I'm going to regret it if I do it, and I'm going to regret it if I don't. If I don't do that thing that I really want to do, I'm going to be upset that I haven't done it. But if I do it, I know that I'm going to suffer physically, and then I'm going to be regretting it. So it's really, it's working out if the payback, if the crash is going to be worth the enjoyment. And that's sometimes a really difficult balance to get, and I definitely find kind of talking to other people around me and getting their advice and their opinion is really helpful in those situations, because I can sometimes, if there's something that I really want to do, I almost go a bit kind of blinkered and think I really, really want to do this, so I'm just going to do it, and I kind of almost forget to consider how awful I know that I'm going to be feeling afterwards. So getting someone else's input is sometimes really helpful. And I can sometimes also be the opposite way and be so blinkered on, I know that I'm going to feel really unwell after this, I know this is going to be too much energy, and forget about enjoying things. So it's definitely difficult, yes, is the answer to that question. What is your go-to everyday hairstyle? So I kind of have just probably about 3 or 4 hairstyles that I basically just kind of cycle through. So I have a ponytail, which is how I have my hair today. There are different variations of this hairstyle in that sometimes I will plait it, or a bun, just like a messy bun. I found pretty much a foolproof method for getting my hair in a bun that stays in. I typically only wash my hair kind of a couple of times a week because it takes so much energy. So really my go-to hairstyle is something that is going to stay for several days. So yes, like a bun or 2 plaits. Yeah, those are really kind of my go-to ones that I kind of cycle through, are a ponytail, a bun and 2 plaits, either Dutch or French plaits. Okay, this is a really lovely one to finish on, which is who is your biggest inspiration / someone that you really look up to? I would say that I have a couple of different people that really inspire me. I think the first one is Jessica Taylor Behrman. She is just a massive inspiration to me. She is the author of 3 books, A Girl Behind Dark Glasses, A Girl in One Room and A Girl Beyond Closed Doors. In those books, they are all non-fiction, kind of autobiography style books. She kind of outlines and talks through her entire journey with Emmy, from being really, really severely unwell to now having 2 children. yeah, I just find her story and how much she's kind of, I feel like she's done a lot for the Emmy community in terms of raising awareness, and just how openly she's spoken about everything that she's been through and continues to do that. Yeah, I just find her really, really inspiring. So Jessica Taylor Behrman, and then also Joanna Wilson, who I will leave a link below to her YouTube channel because it's fantastic. I just find, yeah, just her work ethic and just everything. Yeah, I find Joanna Wilson a really big inspiration as well. So yeah, those are my two inspirations and people that I really look up to. So those are pretty much all of the questions that I had. If you have any other questions that I haven't really answered in this video, then comment them down below and maybe I'll do a part 2. And yeah, like I said, if you'd like to see a video about kind of a day in my life, then I will definitely do that. I'd also love to start doing some more crafting videos, so maybe some videos using my Cricut Joy machine, stuff like that. So if there are any kind of specific videos that you would like to see from me, then please do let me know down in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do have a goal this year of reaching 200 subscribers, and I'm currently on 194, so we are getting closer, and it would really mean a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I will see you all again very soon with another video. Bye!